Now, talk about sustainability. What are you guys doing in that area, Rex?
I'll get to that, but I want to also share one example in terms of installing this sort of energy and the power infrastructure related smart city technologies. So one of the projects that we're doing that utilize, again, our core strength, which is implementing projects in an existing, very dense urban environment, which is very challenging. And they have a lot of people you have to satisfy to do something. And it's the installation of smart meters for the utilities. So again, once done, of course, it will be a very powerful network, for the power utility to provide better service to the citizens. But again, going up to each of the residential units, the commercial units, to actually implement that change, to talk about getting rid of some older piece of infrastructure, installing it inevitably would bring disruption, to an existing, otherwise status quo, So I think Hugh, you ask about sustainability. I think nowadays we understand this term quite more broadly. In the past, a lot about environmental initiatives, but nowadays, given the events in Hong Kong over the last 12 months, I think what we understood sustainability in terms of also resilience, facing up to human-related destructions or natural disasters such as super typhoon in Hong Kong. And I think our friends from overseas who is watching this, they will know Hong Kong's infrastructure continue to perform at a very high level. People look at pictures, looking at after destruction one day, the next day is continue to operate as normal. And this is all because of the people who are working in the infrastructure sector to making sure the infrastructure always stay at a very high level. And having the use of the technology as the ones that we both suggest will definitely help that, and to help Hong Kong to continue to have that leadership in terms of infrastructure quality. So for us, the sustainability question would be about how we can do more in terms of preparing ourselves for these sort of more needs of being resilient, or in terms of making the city more livable, attracting people to come to Hong Kong, to continue to invest in Hong Kong. So for us to nowadays, we look at that in a more broad way.
That's great. And you know what? Earlier you mentioned about having a lot of your people out there inspecting and making sure that the grid and all the traffic light in good conditions. Maybe after this program, we can talk about how you may be able to benefit from our AR/VR capability too, because some of the clients of ours actually using that technology, not just to save the manpower, but also to extend the expertise out to the field. Because sometimes, really experienced engineer or inspectors, they're far and few between. If you send one to here, then, what do you do about there? So those technology that maybe you can also consider as well.